Shalom, shalom. This is Kapari, aka Pops, at GMS Chicago with another sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, elder bishops out of Connecticut, traveling dignitaries such as Apostle Ramlav and Rakar, and Elder Big Gad, Sakaran, and those. Just to name a few. I send double honors because they do rule well for the brothers around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and the interaction with the people on the planet. I send salutations. For the hope we elect, I hope this is edifying. For the Aquas and few and the true that's listening, sincere, the chair to keep doing so. But for the scorn and scoffing reprobate two-thirds Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, it is going to get a whole lot worse. Anyway, today is Saturday, and this is a camp day for GMS Chicago for the most part. Like I said, you got Evanston that do it on Fridays. You got Shapaya that gets it from time to time during the week, and other brothers that do it from time to time during the week. But this is like a major camp day for us. And this, that, and the other. And I was just sitting here thinking about what we're going to go out there and actually wind up being to the people, whether they realize it or not. You know, the scriptures, they said they want a sign or whatever. An evil generation looks for a sign. But let me get that. You saw where I was at, but let me get this. Evil generation. Okay. In Matthew 12 and 39, it says that, but he answered and said to them, and this is in red, so you see this is who the world equally called Jesus, which is Yahweh Shai, his real Hebrew name. It's actually saying to the Pharisees, that's supposed to be the leaders of those people back then when it came to the spiritual aspects and what they're supposed to be doing. And he's saying it to them. He said, but he answered and said it to them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall be no sign given to it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. So Jonah was a sign to the people in Neviv as far as what the evil was coming on and what was going to happen. Okay? And even though he starved it off for X amount of years, it still wind up happening. Okay? But like I said, these people keep looking for a sign, but the sign shows up here in Chicago pretty much Fridays and Saturdays and during the course of the week on the hedges and the street corners, the way the scripture says they're supposed to. Now let me go back to that Isaiah 8. Back to that Isaiah 8. Isaiah 8, 18. Let's see. Okay, and actually I'm gonna pick it up I'm gonna go up at 14 and say it and read that. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So see, this is the northern southern kingdom that's got themselves mixed up, you know, uh, because that's what the Pharisees and the Sadducees couldn't understand when Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly called Jesus, showed up. He showed up as a stumbling stone. They couldn't understand that all the stuff, and that's why he said, having to say that ye are gods, and shouldn't they know? He was basically ridiculing the Pharisees and the Sadducees and whatnot. He called them hypocrites. Why? Because they didn't understand what the old prophets had been written, who they was writing about, and that he had actually come in on the scene and was fulfilling that in the New Testament. Okay, so it says here. So when these New Testament keyboard warriors want to talk about when was in the Old Testament talked about Yahweh Shai or whatever. Here it is. This is one of the scriptures here. It says, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of a stumbling and for a rock of offense. So he's that cornerstone that's mentioned in the New Testament that was being spoke of in the Old Testament, stumbling for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, and for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So that's northern and southern kingdom. Northern and southern kingdom is stuck on not knowing who he is. And when we come out there and break it down and prophesy and show you in the scriptures where it's actually saying that and whatnot, in parabolic or metaphoric or similitude stances, because the Bible was written in those type of stances, they can't see it. So that's the darkness that was going to be on the earth. That no matter how much light we shine on it, they're not going to get it because they are destined for the darkness. Okay, jumping down here uh, to 17, and I will wait upon the Lord that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Verse 18, behold, I and the children whom Yahweh have given me are for signs and for wonders. Who is the me? That's Yahweh Shai. So he said, those are thine and thine are mine. So those that you gave me, Lord, is going to be the ones that's going to understand this truth and go be out there per the scriptures on the street corners and the highways and the hedges, teaching and breaking down the scripture in correct and in truth, are going to be the same ones that the people are going to mock. They're going to turn their back on. They go scoff. They go talk shit about them. They go do all these things, and they're not going to understand until what it says in Hebrew. What's that, about the 13th chapter, where it says, "Then they shall know that a prophet was among them." That's when they going to understand it. Matter of fact, let me get that so I can be sure that I said it right. I quoted the right scripture. Hold on, let me get this to come up right, prophet. Let's see. No, is that gonna come up that way? Gosh, hey, prophet. Let me get that scripture. Give me a second. Okay, so like I said, it's Ezekiel 33:33. And when this come to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. Okay, this is when the people are going to realize it, that the men that will stand out there on the corner spitting this truth, going in on them, yelling at the top of their lungs and all this other kind of stuff, that they was the prophets, okay? And that they was telling them what was coming down the pipe. And it's too late once they start seeing those things actually manifesting, because once it's really start manifesting, because it's manifesting now, but it's not happening here in America on the scale, and what is happening isn't being put on the mainstream because of the narrative that needs to be controlled, that is controlled by the elitist families of the Oppenheimers, the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, the Gettys, that own all of the major news outlets and things of this nature in the first place. So let me go back to this. Let me go back to this Isaiah 8. Finish reading where I was at. I just had to get that scripture since I had mentioned it and whatnot. And it was like, hold on, Hebrew? No, that ain't that. I was thinking something else. It was speaking about Yahweh Shai being the same yesterday, today, and forever. And it kind of just threw me. My mind slid in between two different things all at the same time. Isaiah 8 and 18. So let me go back here. Okay. So behold, I and the children whom Yahweh have given me are for signs. So that's going to be the people that stand out there breaking this truth down in its entirety correctly, obtaining, when it comes to being able to obtain salvation. And for wonders in Israel from Yahweh of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. Okay? Um, and when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits. So you want to go to these soothsayers. Like I said, there's a lady down on 87th Street, not too far from a Harold's Chicken, like right across the street and whatnot. She do tarot card readings and all this other kind of shit. See, you want to turn to those people to try to figure out what's being said or what's going on when it's actually in the scriptures. Okay, Bill, all this, okay? And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, shall not the people seek unto their power for the living to the dead? So why you go to people that are trying to seek dead spirits or pull up dead spirits to get the answers of a living God? Okay? Why you go and try to get those answers from people that's turning to dead spirits when God is alive? Okay, and his prophets are alive. His son is on his right hand side, waiting for his orders to come back and put everything right and put the world in order. And you go turn to those people. Uh, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word. So the people that you want to go and get your answers from are the ones that's coming out this book, and the ones that are coming out it correctly. Okay, directly and correctly. And you got, like I said, that's not into the churches. That's not into a lot of these so-called, even some of these Israelite camps. Okay, they're not teaching you about salvation and how to obtain it correctly. They trying to, like I said, you got IUIC that's doing it for filthy lucre. You got Shakari, he's going that way as well. You got all these other upstarts that think that they done puffed up and got a little bit of knowledge and think that they know more than the elders and apostles and whatnot, and that's crazy. So, like I said, the ones that teach, and that's where the Hebrews see. This was so far ahead of it. That's where the Hebrews he changed, and see, and that's how that scripture jumped in my head and whatnot. So let me go to it now. Let me go to it now. It jumped way ahead like that. Let's see, this name today. Okay. Yeah. See? Yeah, I was shy the same yesterday, today, and forever. So what he said in Matthew's about until one jot or one tittle, all your I's are gonna be dotted and all your T's are gonna be crossed. No way is the law done away with. The law isn't done away with, but salvation has to come through Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that's how all that got jumped up. That's what made me jump into the Hebrew 13 when I was actually thinking about the 33:33. Okay, so that's the clarity on that. Like, how did he get that? Because I was thinking about this and I jumped so far ahead in my brain that this is actually what I was thinking. Okay, so we go back one. I don't want to exit. So now going back here. So the same. So I read to testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because, let me go back and get that. See, this stuff get the flooding in, and it's kind of hard to keep it straight sometime and whatnot. You could go off on a tangent and just be there. Okay. Okay. To launch a test, if they speak not according to this word, is because there's no light in them. See, the light that's Yahweh Shai is told not to be put under a bushel. You put it up and be displayed so people can be drawn to the light. But you see, these people want the darkness, And that's what this is about. Let me go on and get to these other couple scriptures in this. Because, see, to the unlearned, they don't understand that the prophets are the signs. Okay? Let me see. Ecclesiastes 8, start at verse 3. Ecclesiastes 8 and 3. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever. Hold on. My mistake. 18. Ecclesiastes 18. I'm like, huh? No, I was right. 8, 3. Okay, let's see. Okay, actually, I'm starting at 1. Who is as the wise man, who knoweth the interpretation of things? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. So see that boldness, which goes into wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. In great boldness do we stand out to our to our oppressor, and tell him about the deeds that he done and what's going on. It says, and that makes our face to shine. Why we shine with that light? What's the light? The light that's going to that condemns this darkness that the world is under right now. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard of the oath of Yahweh. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. So you think you're going to go down into Egypt and do their ways and whatnot, and you're going to be blessed. You got it wrong. That's not happening. The scripture tells you that. Okay, you might have temporal uh, uh, a temporal fix. Okay, you might get a temporal fix, but like I said, but it's not going to hold up of anything, and that's another thing that led into the Hebrews. See, all this jumbled together, and it ran into the Hebrews. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. That he changed not. So with all these things, excuse me, I got these loud neighbors around me and whatnot with their music going outside and this, that, and other. So, so be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in the evil. So you're not supposed to go down into Egypt, or go into the ways of Egypt, which is Babylon, which is also America. This YOLO mindset, and to be going with that. You ain't supposed to be doing that. Okay, stand not in evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. Okay, so the Lord is going to please him to destroy these people that done took on this and wants to hold on to this. Okay, let me go down to verse 6. Because to every purpose there is a time and a judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him, for he knoweth not that which shall be. For who can tell him when it shall be? See, the Lord tells us, and he doesn't give us direct, but he tells us these are the signs that you're going to be seeing. And one of the main signs is going to be these men out here pushing this truth correctly. So that's, like I said, so that's where my mind went, because like I said, that's what we getting ready to do. We going out here today and pushing this word, and the people going to be walking by the signs that they need to know to understand that the end is upon us. And if he said that the end had came when he came into the world, who that world ignorantly called Jesus, how much closer are we to that time now, to that end? Okay, look at the chaos and the debauchery that's here in America. And America was it was and is the golden cup that the world measured itself by. But now they turning from it because of all the debauchery and the evil that comes with this place. So understand the signs, understand who are the signs, and understand how to take heed to the word that those signs are going to be putting out, and how to adjust your life and change your life to be able to be part of the elect. I hope that's edifying. I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Again, to the apostles and elders of GMS, double honors for the Akim and the whole and the elect, a hearty shalom, and to the rest of the world, a Bible ball.